Hello everybody, my name is Ruth and I'm a cast member on Plastic Fantastic. Now today is Halloween, so happy Halloween to everybody watching. And because it's Halloween, I thought I would tell you all a very spooky story. Now this story is called The Talking Doll, and it's a scary story about an old woman who loves dolls and a young woman who hates them. So, if you're sitting comfortably, then I shall begin. There was an old couple who had hired a new maid to help around their house. The wife had a huge doll collection, and the maid was expected to dust them once a week. So, once a week the maid walked into the room where the dolls were stored and looked at them in disgust. She hated dolls. And while she was dusting, she came across a particularly strange-looking doll. It was a talking doll, and it had a cord in its back. The maid was interested and pulled the cord. The doll said, "Hello." The maid pulled the cord again. "I love my mama," said the doll. The maid put the doll back and continued cleaning. A few weeks later, while dusting off the dolls, the maid accidentally knocked a doll over. It shattered as soon as it hit the ground, and the old woman heard the sound and went to investigate. When she walked into the room and saw her shattered doll, a very sad look came across her face. The maid saw this quickly and said, "I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to break her. I won't do it again." The old woman looked down at her sad, broken doll and told the maid that she could only keep her job if she promised to be extra careful around the dolls. So the maid agreed. The next day, the old couple left the maid alone while they went out to run some errands. The maid was in such a bad mood that she neglected to do her job. And while she was sitting in the kitchen enjoying some of the couple's fancy chocolates, the maid thought of a vicious idea. She slowly made her way into the room where the dolls were kept. She thought for a moment about how sad the old woman was about her broken doll. The maid picked up a doll and said, "She must really love these dolls," and threw the doll on the floor. It shattered, and the maid smiled. She loved the feeling of breaking dolls. Something about the shattering sound pleased her. So she threw more and more and more dolls to the floor. She was still in her doll-killing rage when the old couple came through the door. The old woman ran to her broken dolls. She looked up at the maid with a baleful expression and asked, "What are you doing?" The husband, seeing his wife so upset, immediately told the maid that she was fired. The maid collected her things and left in an even worse mood than before. She was so angry that later that night she snuck back into the old couple's home, knowing they would be asleep, sound asleep, and she crept into the kitchen and found the biggest knife that she could and made her way to the bedroom. The next morning the maid returned to the house and acted like an innocent bystander and told the police that she worked for the couple, that she played the sorry victim and had lost good friends. She told the police that the old couple were loving, nice, caring people, and she had no idea why anyone would want to kill them. At that point she slowly walked into the house, saying that she wished to make sure no one had hurt the old woman's precious doll collection. And when she got to the talking doll, she picked it up and pulled the cord. "Hello," it said. She pulled the cord again and it said, "Why did you kill my mama?" The maid looked horrified. "What did you just say?" "Why did you kill my mama?" asked the doll. The maid stared in a shock. She kept pulling the cord. "Why did you kill my mama? She was a nice mama. I loved her very much." "Why did you kill my mama?" The maid stared at the doll. She could not believe this was happening. "You killed my mama," the doll screamed. The maid threw it to the ground and ran from the house. The next morning the maid was found dead in her bed. In her arms was the talking doll. When investigators pulled the cord on the doll's back, it just kept repeating, "She killed my mama. She killed my mama. She killed my mama. So there you go. Happy Halloween from all of us here at Plastic Fantastic. And yeah, be careful because there's spooky things happening.